Facebook ads plus go high level funnel for real estate investors. Hi guys, I'm Love. I'm the founder and CEO of Square Dash AI. We have been helping real estate investors over the last 1.5, 2 years to get more leads, get more qualified and exclusive appointments, and eventually close more deals. In this video, I'm going to share every little secret that there is to close more deals as of 2025. This is the most advanced, most latest comprehensive approach that every 99% of the people in the market right now are using it to get more deals, right? This is the entire system that we need, and if you integrate it, whatever I say in this video step by step right now, this plug and play system, if you integrate it and incorporate it in your current workflows, you will close appointments. You will close appointments because this is back tested against our experience of the last 12, 15 months, right? This has worked across markets, including Florida, including Texas, including Vermont, including Chicago, including Ohio, including New York. You name the state, we might have worked in that area with this particular system, right? I'm going to upset a lot of marketing agencies out there who are charging 5,000, 6,000, $7,000 for this exact system. But this is the entirety of that you need, right? So I'm going to just dive in. So this is going to be the most advanced playbook, and there are a lot of sections, as you can see. Let's start one by one. I'm going to first go through the fundamentals and very basic, then we're going to move to advanced levels. So first, why old method still fails, right? It fails, and I'm going to share the data with you so to backtest whatever I'm claiming, right? So every time we onboard a partner, we go down to the current approach of what's the source of business, right? How we are generating business, and there are three main channels, and I've not mentioned here. One more is referrals. So let's start with direct mail, right? So the average response rate in that particular approach is 0.5 to 1%. The typical campaign, this is all aggregated along like against a lot of data that we have experienced. So you send point 0.5 bucks per postcard. You want to do it in a lot of volume. You send 4,000 postcards that cost you 2,000 bucks. You get 20 to 40 calls, and out of those, only 10 to 20 are truly motivated, right? And the cost per lead in this particular approach like accentuates a lot. It's 100 200 bucks. That's the average that we have uh, experienced after talking to a lot of partners, right? Second is cold calling. You do a lot of cold calls every day. Let's say 200 dials you get 10 to 15 conversions. There's one drawback here because in cold calling, a lot of calls and no pickups, right? So the conversion itself goes down there. You get 10 to 15 conversions, you get 3 to 4 leads. Out of them, one might convert in an appointment, and maybe one contract offer, right? After weeks of follow up, because in cold call, like it's a basic sales psychology that no one's wants to be sold, they want to buy, right? And when you cold call someone, there's higher chance, the chances of you converting that client or that particular seller immediately into some funnel, right? So in some way that he might be interested, it's extremely high and extremely difficult, right? So the follow-ups takes a lot of effort, and I have seen most agents burn out. Like the burnout rate is quite high. 70% of the folks have talked, they've done it, they're done in the first year, right? Now there are share leads, there are lead vendors all around in the market. They sell the same leads to 4 or 5 investors at one. Now the problem here is the first one gets the most amount of advantage, right? So average response time among those investors is itself is 20 to 30 minutes. The first to contact investor has a chance of 80% of winning that deal, right? So even if you're 10 minutes late and someone has called just before you, you've already lost the game, right? Referrals again are not the best and most consistent way of approach to get more consistent amount of business, right? So referrals are something I'm going to put the top of the list among all these three because uh, it works. I have an observation that it has worked really well for our partners, but the kind of consistency you would expect in a business, right? Consistent flow of leads, so that your business is not depending on a lot of variables. Referrals fails on that particular front, right? So the head core problem is these methods rely on volume and luck, right? So there's no system, there's no control. So what the advantage is, right? So you lack control here, right? So you're renting attention instead of you owning a system. And what I'm gonna share in this video, you will have a system, you will have consistency, and you eliminate the portion of luck as much as possible, right? Now, before we dive into the technicality of what's going to be going to do, I'm going to go a little deep on what's the seller psychology here is, right? So, what kind of journey a motivated seller goes through, right? So I've divided into 4 or 5 phases. This is based on a lot of experience that we have gone through and we have identified. So first is the trigger event, right? Something has happened with them, right? Foreclosure, divorce, probation, job loss, inheritance, or bankruptcy, right? The second phase after the trigger event is denial phase, right? They avoid calls, they ignore mails, they hope the problem just disappears, right? And if you try to go through any of these channels at this particular stage, your chances are very slim to get on a call and convert them, right? It's very difficult. The third is stress and urgency. Now the time has passed, the bills are piling up, the court dates looming around. They gotta act now. They gotta act right now. Okay. The fourth would be decision point, right? So uh, they need fast and certain solution at this point of time, right? The fifth is they eventually take an action, right? They seek local buyer who feels safe, uh, and they want it to get it done immediately, right? So what are the emotional triggers that's going around here? So nobody talks about this stuff, but this is really important. So they want to avoid shame. Don't want their neighbors, realtors to know, oh, we are in a lot of we are in losing game, right? Uh, they want certainty of a price. So someone offering $5,000, $10,000 more in a span of 2 3 months might have a lot less chance of like getting the deal instead of someone who's guaranteeing a close in the minimum time possible, right? So 70% of the sellers pick the guaranteed close or the highest bid, right? And the third is trust. I've again said that's in the early part. The some kind of familiarity would help here a lot, and again the speed matters a lot, right? So they're not looking for the top dollar. They're buying peace of mind so that they can just get it done with, right? Now let's go into the technicality. So this is the part we're going to talk about Facebook as framework, right? So again, going back to untying the fundamentals here with the psychology of the seller, right? So why a seller clicks the ads, right? So there's this one point which is search stress and uncertainty. They're avoiding foreclosure, dealing with divorce, stuck with inherit property or bankruptcy. They're avoiding shame. They don't want people to know what's going on there. They don't want their neighbors seeing postcards or agents talking asking questions. They wanted to get it done with as soon as possible. They need the cash fast as compared to someone offering more money, and trust signal. Trust signal is really important factor here because someone kind of familiarity is much better than a guy calling from I don't know 1,000 miles away, right? So those are the psychology when we keep in mind when we make the Facebook ads, right? And it like I've found this that these small fundamentals have really increased the kind of performances our advertisements have, right? So now let's come to the ad copy formula. So what's the 2 3 formulas I've written here? Let's go one by one. So ad copies is basically the kind of creative or image or video that's a seller gonna see when we're gonna run ads. So the three formulas basically have categorized in three broad categories. The first is distress hook, which is in headline they say, Are you behind on payment?" or "We buy houses in XYZ city." This has worked really well in the past for us. And by the way, guys, if you need the free copy of Ad Creatives back tested against more than $100,000 of ad spent in the last 6 7 months, please feel free to book a call with us. We're gonna do a free Facebook audit. We're gonna if you want any of this, if you want us to talk more about any of this aspect in much more detailing to help you build this, please feel free to get a link, see the link in the below description and book a call with us, and we're going to share the activities as well, right? Yeah. So the body is something, I'm going to come to the body, but body is basically a little descriptions that adds adds and like helps in the user clicking the ad, right? It's kind of copywriting stuff. So we have hired a lot of copywriters in our in-house that write these great copies to increase the click rates of the ads. So yeah, so every formula will have a headline and a body. So this is distress hook, this is speed hook, and this certainty hook, right? So the headline and body are kind of tied together, right? So avoid foreclosures, skip the repairs, and walk away with cash. Second is speed hook. You would want to do the things as soon as possible. This is again tying everything back to the psychology, why what's happening around for the motivated seller, right? Third would be certainty hook, that we guarantee cash offers in 24 hours. Again, body would be something like tired kickers. We make real offers fast, no waiting, no hidden fees, no games, right? So these ad copies and this kind of content has really helped us in the past, right? Now, in terms of what's the best ad creative practices, so selfie video has worked a lot in some of the markets that we have worked, specifically around California. We have seen a lot of uh, uptick in these kind of creatives. So here the investor comes on the camera and say, "Hey, I'm Mike. I'm a local home buyer. If you're stuck with a property you don't want, whether repairs, foreclosure, just too much to deal with, we can help. I pay cash, close fast." This has worked really well. In terms of static images ads, if you want to go with it, the bold, ugly, minimalistic kind of very basic ads have worked really well, because the psychology here is that people don't open these social media platforms to see ads, right? They just want soak the information and go move past on it. So as minimum as you can keep the time span for them to take the action, the better chance you will have uh, to increase the kind of click rate in the ads, right? That's why these image ads have worked really well in the past. So bold ugly works better. Yellow black combination of text overlays have really worked well. Carousel ads are like some more like 2 or 3 pictures at once, so you show the before and after transformation of the past projects. So I'm gonna share a couple of ad creatives that have worked really well for us. So if you see, this is the basic ad that I'm talking about. This is the body, this is the headline, right? The very minimalistic ads, right? Tired of global cash offers, you tie something to the same headline in the body. Same here, very basic ads, and then you have a good body here. um, right now is the best time to sell, as is cash for property. This So these ad creatives have like been back tested against a lot of our spending for our partners. Please feel free to reach out to us if you want the creatives. The link is in the description to get a free call. This is another ad that I'm saying. I just said, right, yeah, yellow and black text overlay. So this has worked really well. Um, Again, we customize this based on a lot of requirements that our partners say to us, right? So this is the body. Hey, we got good news and bad news. Good is that like you can send the house uh, as in the fastest time possible. Again, tying back everything to the psychology section that we talked about, right? This is very plain basic ads. Close within a week, no stress, no open houses, no showing, right? Yeah. Now, one secret I've identified. This is one of the dashboard of our Facebook ads. If you see, if you go with single ad budget, right, which is a broad section, and then you go into multiple ads within that. Sorry, I this is a spelling mistake from my end. Dummy. So you get the winning ad set for in that way, right? So you go with the broad ad set. You create multiple ads within it, and then you find the real best winning ad among that whole section, right? So if you see here, here we have spent $452, and the cost per result was coming around 1257, right? Which is crazy. It's really absolutely nuts. So we have done a lot of ads within one ad set, given the budget there, and this particular strategy has worked really well, right? uh, if you want more nuances on the kind of Facebook ads and the little settings we do, this is more or less everything you need. But if you want to go into more detail, please free feel to book the call. Now this is another section of the ad that we have created. If you see here, uh yeah, you spend it we've spent more than $1,000 here, and one of the best performing cost per result was coming around 10, I think. Yeah, 1088, right? If you see, so that kind of strategy has worked really well for us, and we reach what 6,385 folks with only $1,000 spends. And even that's how we get a winning asset, right? So this was one of our best assets among the section. The highest was only 2151. But if you go within one ad set, right, and you go through multiple ads, that strategy works really well for this particular niche, right? Now, what's going to targeting blueprint like? So this is the fine tune section that you do while setting up your campaigns. So a lot of people complicate this stuff. They do a lot of brainstorming in terms of what they should be doing in terms of these settings, but You really don't have to worry about it because the Facebook ads algorithm is so damn good these days. If you just go with these basic settings, right, you'll be done for good. You will be really done for good. So the location is 15 to 20 miles radius around the city center or the counties that you want to target. The demographics we have seen the best kind of performance is age 30 to 65 because below 30 we have not seen much impact. Interest are these interests have worked really well for us. Home ownership, mortgage, foreclosure, divorce, probate laws, bankruptcies. Again, one of the fact that I have not mentioned has worked really well. Custom audience and retargeting is something more on an advanced kind of aspects, right? So once you have done these basic settings, if you have some kind of traction coming up in your ads for after 3 weeks or 1 month of the campaign being ran, these kind of strategies work really well. I can make another video on these aspects, but yeah, these three are the main ones that you should be focusing around, right? Now let's move to the second part, right? So that's how your ad's going to be. That's more or less it. You don't need to overcomplicate it. It might sound really simple to you, but that's more or less it, right? Of course you need to see the campaign daily in way to optimize it, but if you just want to get started, right, this is really it, right? Now coming to the funnel, right? So once a seller clicks on the ads, right, and they now you have a lead played in your CRM, which is a platform where you can manage all the leads coming in. So I'll tell you what happens, right? So once a user click on one of these ads, right? The seller clicks on one of these ads, they go to a landing page funnel like this, right? I'm going to explain what's landing pages in a short while, uh, and I'm going to explain what a lot of people mess up here. So the headline can be as simple as that. Again, tying this back to the psychology that we're talking about. So you keep the headline as simple as possible. Sell your homes fast in your for cash in your city. This particular headlines work really well for some of the states. Uh, then the sub headline, which is this you can see in the picture, life is hard. This is one we have tried, but it can go something in the lines of no repairs, no commissions, no waiting months. Get a fair cash offer within 24 hours. Right now, you get to the forms. These are very basic. Right, these are very mandatory forms to get the information, the lead. Now, if you want to some kind of customization in terms of the kind of distress, right? What's going on? Why they're selling the property? If you just want for divorce or just want inherited properties, right? You can create more logical questions here. So that's how logic builder can be. So it's something like this. You answer a lot of questions here at the end, and then the CRM eventually gets all those details of the leads in one port in dashboard, I would say, and then you can track everything from there, right? So the landing page, the entire purpose of the landing page here is to reduce the distraction for your seller as much as possible, right? If you go on with three, four more buttons, five, six buttons, if you put a lot of stuff in this first page, they're gonna get disturbed. They're gonna get uh, uh, distracted, right? You don't want that. You want them just to have one goal to fill in the details that you want them to fill, right? So that's the key part. You click on this particular button, you get all those details. This kind of question then comes up. You can all simply build this logic and go high level, right? You build this particular kind of form, you get the lead. If you want some lead scoring in terms of, okay, I want to put more emphasis on someone who has more bankruptcy, right? I want bankruptcy kind of homes or inherited kind of properties. You can do the lead scoring, and eventually you can categorize in terms of what kind of factor that you want to filter, right? Now, so once the lead have submitted, they are stored in your CRM. Now starts the automation. This is the most critical part of the entire process. The first step would be send an instant message within 5 seconds. Hey, first name. My name is Mike. This is Mike. Got your request about the property address. Can we talk now or later? You immediately send an email. This is all done by uh, this platform called Go High Level, right? This is all done within this platform. You don't need to worry about anything else, any other subscription. This comes around 100 bucks a month, uh, but it's really worth it, right? Uh, yeah, at the end of the page, when they have filled the form, you can add these kind of badges. This really has helped a lot of our partners. Yeah, getting the point. So once they have done all the details, filled all the details, you go to step one. You send an instant SMS. You get an second step is you send an instant email Third would be you send call notification almost immediately, right? So you ping them via app or desktop and you call them within 5 minutes. This is very critical part, right? If you are not gonna do speed to lead here, you will face a lot of problems. If you call them, let's say after 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, the chance of getting them converted drops significantly by around 70 to 80%. It's very imperative that you call them within 5 minutes once they have filled the form, right? They're still hot leads. They're still in the mood to get it done. So this particular step is really important, right? Now, what's the CRM pipeline looks like? Like, so new lead comes in, right? They click on the ad, they comes in, they get they fill this particular form, you contact them. Now, appointment is set, you make the offer, the contract is signed, and the deal is closed. That's it, right? And just to make this contract sign and offer making process, we do all this automation, right? I'm gonna share a quick insight on this, right? Now, on the automation, every stage channel triggers. It is very important that you go through them through multiple channels, right? So you don't just go through one touch point; you go through them multiple touch points. It increases your chances of conversion to get them on a call and have an appointment, right? So you can go with SMS confirmation, email updates, and if you have someone to call them, that's wonderful, right? So task assigned by you or your virtual assistant. Now, what's the follow-up sequence look like? So let's say they have not responded, or they have not you have not gotten a call with them, and you don't have a final conclusion with the particular aspect. What do? In day zero, you immediately send an SMS and email. The day one, you make a call attempt. If they don't answer, you drop a voicemail, something on these lines, right? If they don't do that as well, at the same time, sorry, voicemail and SMS goes back to back, because again, you want to like target them through multiple channels. Right? You send a SMS backup, right? Then day three comes. Again, send an SMS on these lines, right? I'm still interested in selling a property. I can make an offer this week. Then you want to give some gap between the days, because it's very important. You don't want to spam them. Day five would be like you send an email of a case study that you work with, right? Day seven, you again do a voicemail drop. Some on these lines, hey, circling back about your property, we're still considering selling. Can I have an offer ready today? Sorry, I can have an offer ready today. Then again, you leave a couple of days of gap. Day 10, day 14. Now the final thing is, up to day 14 you have to follow up. That's very critical part of the process, right? It's very important. Now, what we have seen after a lot of experience in the market, and talk like what we have worked with a lot of partners, 80% of the contracts comes between day 3 to day 10. So you can imagine how important these particular steps are, right? 80% of the contracts come between these particular time span. So when you are thinking, oh, am I spamming them? Am I sending too much for them? You're not. It's their intent to be in the part of the process, right? That's why this particular follow-up is extremely important, right? Extremely important. Now, coming to the dashboard, this is how your CRM looks like. So again, I have this written. Do you have a system in place such like this to get high intent prospects who upfront you message or call them for your help, right? So these kind of follow-ups result to these kind of dashboards. That's the deal, right? So this is one of the dashboards of our partners, right? That's how a CRM gonna look like. I'm gonna make another video, or if you want any of the detail in terms of the CRM and how we can set this up for you, please feel free to book a call with us. It's entirely free. We're gonna do a free Facebook audit, and we're gonna share all the activities that we have been testing. Now, what's the ROI coming around here, right? So after done all this, you spend $1,000. Uh, the cost per leads comes around $20, and it varies 15 to 30 depending upon uh, how better your ads are performing. And the more time span you do it, the better your ads are performing, because it normalizes the kind of cost per leads comes around, right? It normalizes the performance. Sorry, it increases the performance and normalizes your entirety of the cost, right? So let's say you spend $1,000 at 20 CPL, which is very attainable if you do for like at 2 3 months. You get 50 leads. This is for 1 month, right? I'm averaging out here. You get 50% contacts. You get 25% conversions. Let's say uh, 25 conversations. Sorry, 25 conversations. You get 60% of the time. You get 15 set, right? You get 2 3 deals signed there. 2 3 is very realistic if you're very good at sales, right? I'll say this is kind of a good, like more on the better side of what we've experienced, right? Because a lot of people are not able to follow the speed to lead conversion I talked about, that you want to contact the lead as soon as possible, right? So this is very important. uh, the profit per deal might vary here, but let's say if we are talking about 15 to 25,000 on a property, that is 150 grand or 200 grand, right? This is really possible. This is really possible. So you get crazy ROI on the kind of ad spend, right? So again, I'm saying this might be difficult if you're going to go for just 1 month, because your Facebook algorithm hasn't been at its best yet. It hasn't normalized your cost yet. It hasn't yet known your target audience very well. But if you do it for, let's say, 4 months, 3 months, 5 months, your these numbers are very attainable. Because I'm actually saying this is this is resembling very close to the average of 2 or 3 of our partners who have worked for us for more than 5 6 months, right? And this is the kind of numbers then they are getting, right? This is crazy. The key insight here is, so let's say you're saying $28 is very very optimistic, right? What's your my cost per lead is $40. Still, you will get 25 leads. Still, if you close just one deal out of it, right? You are still in 10 to 20 times of your ROI. It's crazy, right? Now I'm gonna go to the more advanced levels, right? So what we have learned about the market, and working in this particular industry, what we have learned that other people don't know yet, right? Speed to lead it is it. So this particular client, this was one of our partners in uh, New Mexico. They were, so speed to lead, the 5 minute response rate increases your close rate by 300%. I've talked about this time and again. I'm just saying this in this particular section. Speed to lead is very imperative, and it's critically important. uh, you would want to you'd want to have authenticity more as compared to perfection, right? So unpolished ads have much higher chances of conversion rate than glossy corporate creatives. I've just talked about that. This basic minimalistic ads have worked really well in the past, right? Really well in the past. Yeah. And multi-channel follow-up, just as I said, this like going after them across different kind of channels has really increased the chances of getting them on a call and eventually converting them into an appointment. The qualification questions are really important. So, right, these kind of questions that we're building on the landing page, if you want very niche or narrow kind of audience to be coming in, this kind of form really separates it out. This is the entirety of what's going to separate out and filter the kind of lead that you want in the end, right? Then if we talk about pipeline discipline, you have to treat each of these lead with a lot of respect, and right, you don't know what's going to cost you. You don't know which lead has what kind of property and what kind of opportunity they will open for you, right? So you have to treat each lead with a lot of respect, as if they are $20,000 contract, right? So one missed follow up is thousands of dollars lost, right? This is very important. Now, if you look at the big picture, right? So old school marketing is low ROI and high efforts. You spend a lot of money and a lot of effort in these kind of systems and channels, but the ROI is not consistent, and it's not matching the kind of effort you're putting in, right? Then talking about uh, this particular system, right? You have ads, you have funnels, you have automation, you have entire system in your hand, and this gives you control. You would want to chase control. You don't want to chase, okay, today my referrals are going to do it, my cold calling is going to do it. There's a lot of variables out there. You would want to reduce the number of variables to get you closer to the kind of appointments and volume that you need to have, right? uh, right. So the best investors we have worked are not dialing 500 calls per day, right? They are ones who have this system in place, who have been who do know how to get consistent flow of business every month, and then they can set up for good, right? They can eventually scale from there. So what scaling phase looks like? So once you've got inflow of leads and appointments coming in, that's the time you hire VAs. If you have 30 more leads, per month. If not, I think if your sales skills are very good, you can handle a lot of appointments in the initial part of the process. You would want to create backup ad accounts of Facebook. You should be tracking a lot of numbers here. I can talk about more in this. If you need any help, please let me know in the comments. We'd want to expand channel once you have uh, we are very much set up and stabilized in the Facebook platform. We have like the channel expansion we have done for some of our partners, not all, because Facebook ads really perform best as a primary marketing channel. But we have seen YouTube ads, LinkedIn ads, Google PPC specifically has worked really well in some of the markets, not all the markets. uh, Again, if you want to do some research, please let me know. uh, and then once you have some kind of stabilization in your Facebook ads, you have some audience that your Facebook algorithm now knows, okay, this is the kind of audience that is converting better for my this particular partner. Then you retarget your competitors visitors. You will, like you I just mentioned this, right? This custom audience retargeting helps really a lot in those kind of phases. And once you have sufficient cash flow coming in, that's when you retarget competitors visitors. You buy their agent leads. Then you dominate the local branding in the county. This is something on the more in the advanced level, not to worry about right now. But yeah, we can again, if you need me to make a video, please drop in the comments on any other particular topic that I'm talking about. The ninth part would be compliance and risk mitigation, right? So TCPA, DNC, these kind of calls are very uh, like uh, sensitive in that case, I would say. So one wrong doing from our end, it costs around 500,000, 1,500 bucks per call. This has been mentioned by one of our partners. I have not seen a lot of cases of this, but something to consider, right? In Facebook ads, again, you have to be very careful about the kind of copy that you're doing. You can't go with discrimination, fair housing, or avoid financial distress wording. This kind of words really flag immediately in Facebook's. And again, you have to have backup business managers, which is Facebook accounts, and you gotta rotate creatives, right? You gotta rotate creatives. So you can't just stick to one. Of course, if one is working well, that's good enough, but it's very it's very advisable to rotate creatives, because you might not know that eventually would come up again with a better ad creative that works much better than the last one, but you will never know without trying it, right? So that's something we really abide by. What's the big picture looking like? So this old school marketing that I talked about, that's very low ROI. You've got a lot of effort. The effort doesn't justify the kind of value you're getting out of it. So this kind of system gives you ads, funnels, automation. You have a predictable deal flow out of here. So again, the best partners that we have known, that we have been talking with, we've kind of have they kind of have the opportunity to have a conversation with. They're not doing 500 calls, 500 people. They've not been cold calling 500 people per day, right? They have very predictable systems that give them very consistent deal flow, right? So that's it, guys. That's more or less everything that I want to talk about in this video. I know this is a lot to take. Please, um, if you know, if you want help with any of the following, uh, we offer a free Facebook audit plus end-to-end audit call. What are your current systems? It's entirely free. If you want ad creatives, you want help with any of the aspect here, please feel free to get in touch with us or leave in the comments, or book a free call with us. Yeah, that's it from my side. I hope you go on crushing the markets. Have a nice day. Thanks.